So if Christian was here with us, he would be 7 years old now. His birthday was a couple of days ago. So obviously there'd be many things I'd like to be doing with him, whether it be getting him into martial arts or maybe fishing, maybe surfing. Who knows? But there's no reason I can't do that with any of my daughters. But I imagine there is a certain bond that fathers have with their sons. And that would be something that I'm only able to imagine. There'll be certain things that I know that he and I would love to be doing together. Building tents and having campouts in the backyard. Just the real boys things, playing basketball, skateboarding, all that sort of stuff. I'm sure he'd be into it all, if he was anything like me. So Carly was 6 months gestation with Christian, and we're going in for just a routine ultrasound at this stage. And always a little bit nervous, even if you think your baby's perfectly happy and healthy and there's no signs of anything bad going or anything going wrong. But you're always a bit nervous before these ultrasounds. While she was getting an ultrasound done at the clinic, we did sense that something was wrong. The woman doing the ultrasound was very quiet, and she was very observant and taking a long time, a lot longer than usual, what we were used to with Scarlett and Christian's earlier ultrasounds. She then said those words, just hang on a moment, I'm just going to go get a doctor. And that's when our hearts sunk. We knew something was wrong. Something was seriously wrong. And the doctor came in, had a good look. They took a long time looking at these ultrasounds. And then, if I remember correctly, they both left and pretty much decided what they were going to say to us and how to present the issue at hand to us, which was that Christian looks very unwell and they were going to refer us on to a specialist. It was a few weeks later after we were told and confirmed the bad news that Christian's had hydrocephalus so severely that where his brain was, there was basically just a bowl of fluid. This is where Carly went into labour and gave birth to Christian. And while she was in labour, we had what felt like an eternity to think about how we're going to say goodbye to him. And think about not that we're just losing our baby boy, but we're also losing lifetimes of memories and time spent with him and his children and his grandchildren and so on. So the time finally came when Carly was going to give birth to him. And the most vivid memory for me, a life-changing moment for me, was when he was actually born. Carly gave birth to him. And he came straight out. I remember him coming straight out into the nurse's hands. And I was just standing there in shock and in tears and just almost completely had left my body. It was that far out an experience. So much anger, sadness and disbelief. And I just remember almost being fooled into thinking a miracle had happened and seeing him move his arms and his limbs, but it wasn't to be. That was just wishful thinking. I held Christian for a while, straight after he was born. Carly had a few complications getting the placenta out. I held him and said the most intense prayer that I've ever said in my life. And this was a great little bonding experience for me and him and my son. I don't think we knew, we didn't know anyone else, especially close to us, who had lost a child before. we knew of certain individuals, through friends of friends or friends of family who've gone through a similar thing, but not really anyone who we could speak to. So there was a feeling of isolation because we were dealing with this by ourselves. And at the time, which I think it is something that Carly and I regret, is that we didn't let family members come in and hold Christian if they wanted to. We felt as though we need to keep this very personal and very safe within our family. And I'm not sure why. Maybe that was just our confusion at the time, but I think that is something that we regret. So one year and 4 days after Christian was born, we were very fortunate to bring our third child, our second daughter, River, into the world. River Eve, a beautiful girl, and then very fortunate again a couple of years later to bring Osha Marie into the world. So we still have 3 beautiful children, beautiful daughters with us here. Very lucky. I know how lucky I am to have these kids. As much as they will not fill the hole that Christian left behind, they're not a replacement for him, as no one could ever replace those 2 girls either. They're all individual and all special in their own ways, as Christian was too. But the healing for the loss of Christian has just had to come from within here, because they are not a replacement for him. As you can imagine, Carly is a beautiful mother. I think that comes out in her art, in her work, how much love she has for her children. And it's no different with the children that she still has here with us, with Scarlet, River and Osha. She's very nurturing, a very caring mother, and so much patience for them, and she's just full of compassion. So I'm very lucky to not only have her as a wife, but so lucky that she's the mother of my children. I think because Carly is someone who has so much love to give, that she's had no choice within herself but to feel the undeniable urge to make some sort of life form, some sort of art out of Christian's death and out of him not being here. And the amount of time that she spends on her work in helping others heal, and through her photography and her art, I've always looked at that as her spending time with Christian and mothering Christian, and that's the time that she dedicates to him. Carly's work, it's mind-blowing what it's evolved into since she first started in 2008. I think the reason why people are so drawn to Carly and her work is that she has the ability to allow them to see the world in a different light, allow them to try and capture the beauty in the world. When they first are told about Carly or discover Carly online, they may think that Carly is going to heal them, but I think what they soon discover is that Carly doesn't heal them. Carly just helps them open their eyes to the tools that will allow them to try and heal themselves. And I think that's why people are so drawn to Carly. And it's just such a warm place to be, whether you know Carly in person. It's totally translated to what she is in person online. Very warm, very welcoming, absolutely looks at the beautiful things in life, and totally non-judgmental, and she just welcomes anyone from any background going through any sort of situation into their life and tries to make it better for them. Why am I telling this story and not Carly? Well, Carly has told it before in her own ways. She's represented mothers who have been through the same thing, and obviously the mother does have a deeper connection with their child. But I do think it's important that the fathers tell their side of the story too. And that's why I think today, while we're filming this, I think it is really important to get the story out there from a father's perspective. Men should never be afraid, and never be afraid to show their emotional side. I don't believe men are hardwired to not show their emotional side. I think we've just learned how to suppress them due to our egos, basically. And I'm totally willing to let go of my ego and just be totally vulnerable and show my emotional side and show it with love, because I believe that that's who I am, and I'm learning to let go of that ego more and more every day, more and more as I learn about myself. So that's why I'm here telling the story. I'm thankful for Christian's life. I'm thankful for all he has taught me, all he continues to teach me. I'm thankful for his love for me. I look forward to the day where I really get to meet him. I always wonder, will he still be a baby? Will he be a boy? Or will he age in years as if he would age on earth? I don't know. It blows my mind even thinking about it. But I'm very thankful for his short life here with us. Very blessed to have had him, and I'll continue to honour him to the best of my ability for the rest of my days.